and then we have to complete the following, and we have to find equal fractions. So 1 over 5 equal what over 10. إذا بنشوف ال 5 كيف بتصير 10 we multiplied it by 2, then we have to multiply 1, also multiply it by the same factor 2. 1 times 2 is 2, so we put here 2. And then we have 27 over 3. We notice that 3 becomes 1. How? It's divided by 3. So we have to divide by the same number, which is 3. 27 divided by 3 is 9. Here 125 becomes 1000. How? By multiplying it by 8. So we have to multiply 34 by 8, which is 272. And here 45 over 60. بنشوف انه ال 45 becomes 3. How? Divided by 15. So 60 divided by 15 is 4. And then 4 becomes 100, so divided by 25. Then multiplied by 25. Then 3 multiplied by 25 is 75. So in this activity بنلاحظ انه there are fractions that انه the denominator could be written as 10, or the denominator could be written as 100 or 1000, okay, or 1. So إذا بنلاحظ إنه بهالفractions كتبنا denominator as 1 or 10 or 100 or 1000. So this idea is very important. هيدي الفكرة مهمة. Why? إنه I can turn the denominator of the fraction into 1, 10, 100 and 1000. These numbers are called the powers of 10. So in this case, any number, any fractions whose denominator could be written as power of 10 is called a decimal fraction. So let's see here, we have to try to find an equivalent fraction for 7 over 33, and whose denominator is power of 10. Power of 10 means 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, okay? So could 33 be written as 10, or is there any number that's multiplied by 3 or multiplied by 33, or 33 divided by this number gives 10, or 100 or 1000 or 10,000 or 100,000? So these are the multiples of 3. We see there's no 10 in the multiples of 3, no 100 in the multiples of 3, and there's no 1000 in the multiples of 3. So we could not find a number that's multiplied by 33 and gives us a power of 10. So 33 could not be written as power of 10. فإذا in this activity بين عندي إنه في عندي two types of fraction. A fraction could be written as power of 10, its denominator could be written as power of 10. هيدول راح نسميهم decimal fractions. Another fractions, their denominator could not be written as power of 10. يعني ما بقدر أحول أنا denominator ل 10, 100, 1000. So راح نسميهم non-decimal fractions. شو هن ال powers of 10؟ مثل 10 أو 10 times 10, 10 times 10 times 10, 3 times, 10 multiplied by itself 4 times, 10 multiplied by itself 5 times. So these are the powers of 10. So 10 times 10 is 100, and then 1000, 10,000 and 100,000. So the powers of 10 يعني 10 multiplied by itself n times. أنا كيف بقدر أختصر هون؟ أنا عندي مثلا 10 multiplied by itself 4 times. كيف بقدر بختصرها؟ بقول 10 وبحط فوقها عدد صغير بسميه ال n. هيدا ال n هو the number that's multiplied by itself. So هون في عندي 1 time، هون في عندي 10 2 times، so 10 وبحط power 2. هون عندي 10 3 times، يعني 10 فوقها بحط 1 2 3، فبحط عدد صغير 3 بسميه الباور. 1 2 3 4، فإذا عندي 10 وباور 4. هون عندي 1 2 3 4 5 times، so 10 power 5. There's a relation في عندي the number 5 معناتها عندي 5 zeros. عندي هون exponent أو الباور 4 معناتها عندي 4 zeros. power 3 يعني 3 zeros. power 2 يعني 2 zeros, power 1 يعني 1 zero. So the powers of 10, that means إنه 1 أو بيكون عنده 1 zero أو بيكون عنده 2 zeros or 3 zeros. So these are the powers of 10. هن 10, 100, 1000, 10,000. Okay, or we could say also 1. 1 كمان could be considered as power of 10. So here we have the beautiful products. So إذا بنلاحظ في عندي 2 times 5 is 10, 20 times 5 100, 50 times 2 100, 25 times 4 كمان تعطيني 100. فإذا هدول الفاكتورز are important حتى أقدر حول 25 كيف حولها ل 100 or 4 كيف حولها ل 100. 4 بضربها ب 25 أو 25 بضربها ب 4 فبتعطيني 100. So it's important to memorize these factors. And then في عندي هون the power of 10 كمان عندي 1000 which is the power of 10 10 power 3 لأنه عندي 3 zeros. So إذا عندي 25 بضربها ب 40 بتصير عندي 1000. إذا عندي 250 بنضربها ب 4 بتصير 1000. 125 بنضربها ب 8 or 8 بنضربها ب 125. 500 times 2 is 1000. 200 times 5 is 1000. So هدول الفاكتورز are very important حتى أقدر حول the denominator of fraction to power of 10. إذا أنا بقدر حول the denominator of the fraction to power of 10 then we say that it's a decimal fraction. فإذا خلينا نشوف it's a decimal fraction or not a decimal fraction. So the fraction n over d, n يعني numerator over denominator, we say that if the denominator could not be written as power of 10, so it's non-decimal fraction. بينما إذا denominator could be written as power of 10 معناها رح أقول عنه decimal fraction. Let's have an example. إذا أنا عندي the fraction 6 over 5 ممكن حول ال 5 ل power of 10 يعني ممكن تصير ال 5 10 or 100 or 1000. Yes, it could be multiplied by 2. Simply راح تصير عندي 10. So this fraction 6 over 5 is called a decimal fraction. والسبب إنه the denominator of this fraction could be written as 10 or power of 10. Powers of 10 هني 100, 1000 و 10 وال 1 كمان. So 6 over 5 بدي اكتبها as a decimal fraction. Decimal fraction يعني its denominator is power of 10. So حتى حول ال 5 ل 10 راح اضربها ب 2. So here we multiply 5 times 2 is 10 and then we have to multiply 6 times 2 so it's 12. So this fraction is written here as a decimal fraction. 12 over 10 is called a decimal fraction. Why? The denominator is 10 or power of 10. And this fraction also could be written as decimal number. So decimal number بنلاحظ انه 12 divided by 10 is 1.2. So here we have n over d, numerator over denominator. إذا أنا قسمت النيوميريتور على الدينومينيتور راح يطلع عندي الكوشنت. So عندي two possibilities. The quotient is not exact or فينا نقول the division does not terminate. Then this fraction n over d is non-decimal fraction. Or the quotient could be exact. معناتها إنه يعني عندي رقمين على يمين الديسيمال digit or two numbers or three digits whatever. فإذا exact معناتها the division terminates. عملية القسمة راح تنتهي وراح يكون في عندي limited number of decimal digits. So we say that this is a decimal fraction. N over d is a decimal fraction. So here we have these examples. 12 over 7. If we divide 12 by 7 راح يطلع عندي this number. بنلاحظ هون the division do not terminate معناتها it's non-decimal fraction. هون في عندي only one decimal digit so it's a decimal fraction. This is a decimal fraction. This is a decimal fraction. هون في عندي the quotient is not exact and the division do not terminate. عملية القسمة ما بتنتهي و the quotient is not exact so it's a non-decimal fraction.